John with FX, and on behalf of everyone at FX and the network, we want to thank you for joining us for our virtual Comic-Con panel for our Emmy Award-winning animated series, Archer. Today we have our cast, and we are excited about season 11 of the series. And so with that, I want to turn it over to our moderator, who's executive producer of Archer. Please welcome Casey Willis. Casey, take it away.
Hey, everybody. We're very bummed that we can't be there in San Diego this year, but we're really excited to connect with you virtually. And we're just going to have a really cool conversation that's going to include some fun stories, some appropriate witty banter. We've already been warned to keep it clean. And maybe some fun hints and tidbits about season 11. So to get started, I'm just going to introduce everyone. To start out with, the voice of the lovely Lana Kane, Miss Aisha Tyler.
Oh, hello. Hello, everybody. Hi.
And the crazy and lovable assistant, Cheryl Tunt, Miss Judy Greer.
Hello. Hi. Hi, fans. Thank you so much for coming. Look how many you every year. Bigger, bigger. Oh my God.
And the voice of our favorite comptroller, Cyril Figgis, Mr. Chris Parnell.
Oh, hi. Hello. Hi, everybody.
And the voice of everybody's lovable comrade in arms, Pam Poovey, Miss Amber Nash.
Hey. Hey, guys. Hi.
And last but not least, the voice of our favorite unscrupulous scientist, Algernon Krieger, Mr. Lucky Yates.
Lucky, wake up.
So, what? Are we on? Is it happening?
Morning.
Is it time? Sorry. I just called, nappy nap.
Yeah.
Oh,
Uncle Algernon.
Hey, I want to thank everybody for being here. And it's a little bittersweet because we've often talked about how really the only time we see each other are at these conventions. And so I give all of you a big virtual hug and a kiss. And thank you for coming.
Yeah, it's so nice to see everybody. I'm sorry I can't get awkwardly drunk on Chardonnay in front of all of you.
Oh, we'll do that again. I promise you that. We will be.
Yeah, we will get drunk again.
Oh, yeah. Yes, we will.
I have to say, guys, I quit drinking in 2009, and the only time I've been drunk since then is hanging out with y'all.
Winning.
Hey, guys, we're a terrible influence. Congratulations.
No, we didn't say any swear words. We didn't say any swear words.
No, we haven't said any swear words, but apparently we've been goading Lucky into drinking alcohol every time we're together. Like a bunch of middle schoolers. Just have a beer, man. I stole it from my dad. What's wrong with you?
Here, Lucky, hold my drink. Can you hold my drink while I go to the bathroom?
Like this. It usually happens like this. What are you guys all drinking that you're so excited about? Oh, yeah, sure, I'll try it. Oh, man. Yeah, okay, I'll have one. 6 later.
But in everybody's defense, there usually is like one super awesome cocktail that happens every year. Like
Yeah.
the U.S. Grand had their like handcrafted barrel-aged whatever that was.
Yeah.
And everybody was super crazy.
Handcrafted barrel-aged bad decisions.
Yeah. Wait, that should be called, that should be a drink, Bad Decisions. Is it? Aisha, make one.
I'm on it, guys. I'm on it right now. Yeah, it's next one. Yeah.
Amber used to have a whimsical name for Jägermeister, didn't you, Amber?
Yes, mistake juice. Yeah. That's how I accidentally slept with all my friends.
Wait, why haven't we been giving Amber Jägermeister when we've been at Comic-Con in the past? Why do we have to know this now?
We are on it. The guys that are in Atlanta, do you know that place? It's called the Vortex.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it's a very famous kind of nightclub and comedy space. They have one of those machines that dispenses the Jägermeister, and I drank there with Matt and who? Matt and Evan. Matt and Evan. Who am I thinking about? I'm having a stroke. Matt and Adam. And that machine ended up in an episode of Archer. Do you remember that? Where Pam Peeke is carrying it around and drinking out of it.
Yeah, and I
It
met a
was a-
cosplayer in Atlanta that made one that was functioning, and she would carry it around at cons and give people shots of cold Jägermeister out of it. What do we call it in the show, Casey?
It was called Schutzenmeister in the show.
Schutzenmeister, yeah.
But I think even the bar was kind of like drawn like that bar. And like Pam was just like kicking it by the bar with that thing under her arm like a champion. So Matt and Adam and also Evan, who was there, some guy named Evan.
Our friend
Evan is the man behind the man behind the man behind the scenes.
There's always an Evan.
I think that's what I was thinking of. He's got like some barbecue friend named Evan. Tell him I said what's up. Okay.
You know, you bring up cosplay. Man, that's going to be the biggest disappointment of not being in San Diego this year is to seeing all the cool cosplay. And of all genres and shows, but especially Archer, because it's so cool to see people get so pumped about the show and dress up as their favorite characters. Has there ever been a Archer cosplay that really surprised you? For me, it was one year, I think it was Dragon Con. It was a Outlaw Country Cheryl, and it looked awesome.
I don't think I was there. Was I there? Because I really would love to see that.
Yeah,
Con
no,
is
Dragon
here.
Con is terrible, and they
Like Dragon
wouldn't
Con.
fly you out.
Oh, they wouldn't fly me out.
No, Dragon Con's great. Ooh.
There is
We're not going to curse, but we're still going to make mistakes, y'all.
And a touch and smack.
Lucky, did you have a good one? We're going to say something.
No. Anything.
I feel like you and Amber see the most cosplay though.
Yeah. Some of my favorite is when people really do the lining that the animation has, like the really classic Archer lining. To see somebody that's got like a hand painted Archer suit on is pretty spectacular.
Yeah.
There's so much good cosplay out there. And we met actually when Lucky and I last year we did what was our show called, Lucky? Archer After Hours.
Yeah, after hours.
And we had a professional cosplayer. She drove down from Tennessee to be on our show, and she was so excited. She's the one that made the Schutzenmeister machine and brought it with her. She was totally rad. And she does like all different kinds of Pams. She made like the big gun thing. What was the big gun thing, Casey, that Pam had? And this was like in space, but like before the space season.
Like end of season like 3 or something when we went to space with Barry.
like
think that's where
just
it's
like
from.
a plasma rifle or something, with the countdown and stuff.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Another great cosplay was also at Dragon Con, and it was maybe the first year that we kind of went up there as a group, and comic book artist extraordinaire Adam Hughes was dressed as Pam, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like-
And he
They had
He's
a
a
whole
big fella.
group.
Big. Yeah. It's awesome.
looked amazing.
I'll never know.
I think it's no, you won't, Judy. You're too busy making all your movies and television shows. How does it feel?
Oh, right, I forgot.
Damn you.
Last year at Dragon Con, there was a guy for that meetup. There was one guy that was dressed as Brett, and he kept laying in every picture like he'd been shot, and he was brilliant.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so funny. We need a Milton. I would like somebody to cry. And this is my official
I wish
challenge.
somebody would build
Someone
one of
who can
those
be
things.
Milton with actual toast coming out of you. You would be like the hero of every party. Yeah. Get on that, America.
I can't
Yeah.
believe one of the
Rings and
robot
toast.
clubs hasn't jumped on it.
Oh, right. Yeah, like one of the high school clubs, like competing, like Robot Wars.
Yeah, at the cons, there's always some sort of robot outfit that, like build your own Star Wars droid or build your own whatever bot. So I'm really surprised that nobody's done a Melton.
I would love to see a Robot Wars where there's like one that has like gnashing teeth and a saw blade, and then there's just one that's just shooting toast in the corner.
What? What
But
about
the one
a
that
Robot
is
Wars show? Go ahead, Judy.
the one that has the blades is gluten free, so that's why the toast maker wins.
Then when it's weakened by its gluten, not an allergy, but more just like an intolerance,
low
then the
tolerance.
toast bot, just like a little, like it gets highs and it feels a little sluggish and bloated.
Yeah,
Then the
like-
other robot shoots it with maple syrup, and it also has issues with its blood sugar, and then it goes down completely.
Hypoglycemic.
Exactly. And it just goes, but I was just trying to be keto.
This would be a great way to teach kids about nutrition by using Milton.
Milton, the learning bot.
Oh, good old Milton. He saved us from the elevator, didn't he? Didn't Milton save us?
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are there any Milton spoilers or anything? Any secrets that we can learn, Casey, for this season? What's Milton up to?
Yeah, I don't want to say that he won't be in season 11, but he's not. We had an idea, and maybe we'll come back to it, but we had an idea that somebody would just open a closet and then throw something in the closet not looking, and it'd just be him just like filled, the whole closet's just filled with toast, and he's just been popping out toast for 3 years in a closet.
That's
What if
cheesy.
it's like
That's so
a
good.
short, we do like a sort of take off of Short Circuit with Milton, and like Milton becomes alive.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
I'm just worried about his dating life. Like, I feel like he falls in love with a real girl. Eventually, they have some time alone, and we all realize that Milton's never going to be a real boy.
But Steve Gutenberg
She's
will save the
gluten-free
day.
He can still save the day, but she's going to have to go off with her human man at some point, unless she
Did
wants
Lucky
toast
say Steve?
babies.
Did Lucky say Steve Glutenberg?
Yeah, Steve Gutenberg.
Brilliant.
That was very good. That was very good work. Nice work. Lucky Yates.
Gutenberg.
Lucky, we can barely see like Lucky's face, but he's still just spitting hot fire.
There you go.
Yeah.
There.
Steve Gutenberg. Steve Gutenberg. What's that heaven?
So-
Steve Gutenberg movies.
Just because of what brings us to have this virtual panel, how we recorded the last 2 episodes while under quarantine. Did that make it different for you guys? Do you remember that? And what did you think about that, working under quarantine?
It was it was not a big deal given what we do for me. I mean, I just went into the studio and, they had these safety protocols and I didn't have to touch anybody because I usually touch a lot of people when I go into a session. And give them a hug, kisses. I didn't do that this time.
I typically record after Chris, and I come in after Chris, and everyone looks really traumatized, and there's always one engineer's in tears, and another one's like, I have a bruise this time. He bruised me. The hug was so, what do I do? And then I just go, stop complaining, guys. Let's get to my part of it.
Yeah, I got a lot of love to give.
He's a very affectionate man.
I was trying to figure out how to record from home, and it was like becoming a giant pain in the bum. And then somehow I found out that you guys had gone in the studio, and I was like, can I just go in the studio?
But they made it really good. Like they made it really, like you didn't have to interact with the engineers. You could go directly into the booth. They sanitized everything.
Finally. Am I right?
Yeah. I mean, they hadn't cleaned up in years.
They were like, it's going to be really safe. And I went in and I was like, this is exactly the same as it always is. And that guy's 3 feet away from me. What are the protocols you're following?
The one in LA, we don't ever, it's like we basically walk right in by ourselves anyway.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
because Josiah doesn't like any of us, and he just wants
No, he hates us. And so, yeah, we just walk I feel like it was definitely clean and safe, but it wasn't any different because I always basically go in the front door and then like right into the recording studio. So that
I
didn't.
typically come in, don't acknowledge anybody's presence, don't look anybody in the eye, scream, let's get this crap over with, record my thing, and then sail away on my chariot made of unicorns.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, we all do it the same way. That's what we all do.
Oh, but I will say one good thing about recording during quarantine is there's a liquor store attached to Studio Awesome, and they always had toilet paper, always. You could only buy 1 4-pack, which is fine because I would just go and buy toilet paper there. And I was like, and I ran in and I was like, Josiah, look what they have at the liquor store. They also charge less than my local supermarket for Aperol because I've been doing a lot of Aperol spritzers during quarantine because it's good to clean out any germs inside you. It's not. So, but yeah,
It's a
the
good
toilet
work
paper
drink.
thing. It's a good work drink. Last night, speaking of work drinks, I was just introduced to dry vermouth on the rocks. That's a drink.
Oh, that's what my
What?
wife Audra
Yeah.
loves.
Yeah,
Love
they're
dry
just
vermouth.
It's like rubbing alcohol.
No, it tastes
I know
very
what you're talking
like
about.
herby.
Not like there's red vermouth and there's white vermouth and then there's dry vermouth, and the white vermouth on the rocks, which is kind of like a sweeter white vermouth, is the most delicious thing.
Really?
ever.
Because I only had dry vermouth, but it was, I don't have to tell you guys, Tuesday nights is my knitting group Zoom. So every Tuesday night we do a different signature drink, and last night was that. I don't know why. You guys can talk now if you want.
I have a question that has nothing to do with the show. Did anybody else find that like the supermarket had nothing, but like the local liquor store had everything? Like the
Yes.
bodega in my neighborhood had like literally had toilet paper, had paper towels, had disinfecting wipes, had N95 masks, had a
Antibacterial dial. Yes.
had a chamois mitt to wash your car, had fresh limes, had chili sauce. Like, I was like, they're not gonna have that. They're like, we've got an N95 mask, and like a diamond with every purchase. Enjoy yourselves.
Yeah.
It was insane. It was so great. Yeah.
I know. I learned early on because my friend told me that at her local little market, her bodega market, that because I couldn't find garlic anywhere. And so I drove to her market far away from my house. And sure enough, they had one of those like garlic socks.
The one that you used to keep the vampires away.
It was like a vampire necklace. And yeah, so now that's why when I went to record Archer that first time during quarantine and I saw the liquor store, I was like, I bet she's got toilet paper in there. And she did.
Wow.
And
My
that's the moral of the
parents
story.
are
Support local businesses.
preppers. And so my dad had masks, Clorox wipes, toilet paper, paper towels. So I just went to their prep bunker, picked up my bug out bag, and all the toilet paper I needed. True. This is true.
Right.
Pays to be prepared.
My
Pays to be
local
prepared.
bodega has all that stuff, but I refuse to, give them my business. I do everything through Amazon.
Yes. Corporate.
I will
Support
not-
your
I will
local giant corporation.
On Amazon or Walmart.
Capitalism
That's all.
Parnell.
Yeah. Yeah.
Judy
Support
mentioned
megalopoly.
Judy mentioned her knitting, which you've been doing for quite a while, but has anybody else developed any interesting quarantine hobbies?
Just more drinking.
Does drinking
Let's not-
count as a hobby? Does drinking count as a hobby?
I've gotten into craft cocktails.
Yeah. I also, happy hour just started to slide like earlier into the day for really.
Yeah, I know, and I no
coming.
longer, I don't consider like a light beer alcohol anymore.
Yeah,
No, that's like water.
Right.
yeah. Neither
Like
did our
after a
founding
workout.
Happy hour is
pushing back
getting
towards the end.
earlier. Yes, happy hour is getting earlier. Light beer doesn't count as booze.
Also, I cannot have a meeting before 11 a.m. in the morning because I am asleep in my bed. So it is post-noon meetings only, my friends. I'm available between 1 and 4.
Yeah.
Everyone's like,
With,
"They're like, can we meet?" I'm like, no, I'm tied up. I'm tied up until after lunchtime. I'm booked. I'm booked up until 1 o'clock.
With normally when we do a Comic-Con panel, the season has already premiered and everybody's seen all the episodes, and we're just talking about the season that already happened because production hadn't started on the new season yet. But this time, lucky viewer, we've recorded everything, and here in Atlanta, we're still working. Everybody's working from home, but we're still working on the last couple episodes. And so, what are you guys excited about for season 11 and coming back into the real world, not a coma season?
It was so
You mean, what
fun
are we? Oh, go ahead.
to
No, you
read
never.
the scripts. Like they were so funny. All the scripts were so funny, and it was just like I loved being in space and I loved being on the island, and I thought it was super fun. But there was something really exciting about getting back to the real world with everybody, and it felt like going home, and it was really fun and super fun just to see what everybody's been up to. What's that?
Oh my God, there's a human being. There's a tiny human being.
That's Damien.
Oh,
Wow.
Damien did he just live up to his namesake? Materialize in the back of his eyes. And then run away.
Damn, he'll put on a whole show if we let him.
Adorable.
Let's let him. We're doing nothing. We're just talking about the stupidest things ever.
Sorry, everybody.
Start any new hobbies during quarantine?
Did Damien start any new hobbies during quarantine, Chris?
Oh, it's been a challenge keeping him occupied. He's just started an art class via Zoom with this great teacher in the neighborhood nearby, and so he's enjoying that. And then we started doing a little neighborhood karate class.
Oh,
And in a neighborhood, they're going to do a neighborhood hip hop class, and they can do it outside and keep their distance. So
That's great.
Awesome.
man, I can move to your neighborhood.
Right?
It's a good neighborhood.
Hip hop class.
Yeah.
I have another question. Does not showering count as a hobby? Super good at that, guys. I've perfected it.
And then finding subtle ways to tell your partner, like, hey, maybe it's time today to take a shower.
Ongoing conversation.
Bingo.
We're like, somebody should do something. Someone in here should do something.
Maybe
Can I draw you a bath?
I'm like, maybe if one of us gets in the shower, it will inspire the other person to also get in the shower.
Lead by example.
Yeah.
Or the other
Crazy.
person's like, hey, I'm going to get a shower. You want to do one after? And you're like, nah, I'm good. Are you though? No, I'm good. I'm fine.
Casey, what was your question?
It was about season 11 of Archer, a show that we...
Oh, yeah, okay.
But I do have to say that I have a smart water valve now. Very brief story. Had a pipe burst in my house. Been out of the house for like 4.5 months. Finally back in. Very happy. But now, because I'm paranoid about water, I got a smart water valve installed. So it knows when the water's running and if it's been on for a while. And so one day, the only time it's alerted me, my wife was in the shower, and I was like, why did somebody take an 18-minute, 46-second shower?
Oh.
And then she said, worry about yourself, dude.
Yeah. Don't
18
try to
minutes
bring her
seems like a-
down. That's like if you're shaving and washing and conditioning and doing a scrub and doing a mask and a hair mask and maybe doing some light cuticle work on your nails. Like I'm impressed by how fast she was there.
Yeah.
Well, she was shaving, she said. And then the other thing is that I have to tell it to not shut the water off at that point, because
You're the boss.
it'll go into panic mode and just shut it off.
Wow.
But yeah, so season 11, Excited to be back. This happens.
We can't say anything. Like,
No,
I
this,
know.
what can we say?
Yeah,
we can't give anything away.
well, maybe we can give a little bit away, but this happens with all of us coming into work. The other day, we were reviewing an animatic, and it was just three of us in a giant conference room to keep social distancing. But literally the first half hour, we were just so excited to see other people that we were just talking and I'm bull crapping. Sorry.
Bull pooping, bull
Bull
doo-doo,
pooping.
jump, go doo.
But
Take two.
maybe we can do a couple little, spoilers or hints and teases because there's going to be some cool guest stars, and I can't talk about all of them. But one that I can reveal is we're very excited. Simon Pegg is going to be in the season.
Hello.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So excited.
So great.
Oh.
And then also,
I'm just
we got
excited because
another-
then when I see him on the street, I can go, "Hey, Simon, you're on my show," and then he can go,
Yeah.
"Stop touching me! I don't know who you are."
but the other person that I want to talk about, guest star, reoccurring guest star, I might add, came to us via Miss Judy Greer. And I'm
Is it
excited
Dean
to announce
Johnson?
it's Jamie Lee Curtis.
Wow.
Very exciting.
And I don't want to say anything about her character or anything, but Judy, could you give us a little insight about how you made this connection for us?
Yes, I can. Earlier, Aisha was talking about the many, many, many feature films that I'm in, and so many. One of them came out like 2 years ago. It was a reboot of the Halloween franchise starring Jamie Lee Curtis, and I got offered the role of her I almost said wife, her daughter. And when we first showed up to do like rehearsals and stuff in Charleston where we shot the movie, I like introduced myself to her and she just was like just went right in for Archer. Like Archer. So much so, and I've never actually asked her this, but I do think that's maybe why I got the job because she's an executive producer on the movie. And I swear, I think one of the reasons, like maybe my name was brought up with a lot of other names, but she was like, ooh. So she and her son like really bond over Archer. They watched it all the time and it's his favorite show and she loves it. One of her favorite shows. And like, anyway, I'm like pretty convinced it's because of, I'm throwing it back to you, Casey, that I even got in Halloween. Anyway, I said, Jeannie, like, like 100%, like I could get you on the show. Like, they would. I mean, I don't have to even do it, but come on. She's like, oh, really? Do you? I'm like, yeah. So.
Wow.
Well,
I'm always really surprised when reputable people like our show.
Why is that? Because we think we're some weird little like gang of weirdos. Like, and that I still feel like even at season 11, that first year when people started to be like, oh, you're an Archer. And I was like, you watch it? You watch our little show and you take the time to actually like look my name up and see that it's me. Like, I was like, I still feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
at one
First of all, we are a little weird little group of weirdos. Like
We are a weird little group of weirdos.
They're a very strange group of human beings.
Speaking of little weirdos, where's John Benjamin?
Yeah.
I think
He's making sandwiches.
he's out
Probably.
in the wilderness
Oh, is
watching
he?
birds. Yeah.
He's getting his bush
Oh,
craft.
it's camping or whatever.
The,
Is he like a survival-y guy? Is he a survivalist person? Is he doing some?
I doubt it.
Yeah, I don't get that from him.
He's out banging drums in the woods.
Mm.
Oh God.
Drum circle.
Jessica is though. She's doing like one of those things where they drop you off in the middle of the forest with a backpack and you have to get yourself out, like an Outward Bound thing.
Oh, yeah. She's on the newest season of Naked and Afraid.
She is, and spoiler alert, she wins. Like, I have to tell you.
Obviously.
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
Obviously. She just rides out of the jungle riding a puma with a torch aloft.
She was a special forces ranger for like, I don't know, 25 years or something like that before she got into acting.
Mm-hmm.
I said, what was your special thing you brought into the wilderness? She was like, my mind, you fool, get out of my way.
A martini shaker. Shut up.
She just has to glare at a bear and it rolls over in submission.
Yeah, well, that was exciting. That was an exciting visual. I'm glad we've gotten a lot of detail out of the way on the show.
Yeah.
I have a couple fan questions as well. I want to pose to you guys. This one's from Ernie Estrella, and he says, having lived with these characters for more than a decade, have any of you had a wild and crazy episode play out in your dreams, or have you ever just dreamt about Pam or Cyril?
I have. I don't
See,
remember, but
asked-
I almost never remember my dreams.
Yeah, me neither. Because of passing
Is-
out.
Is
Yeah.
Ernie
Mhm.
Estrella a code for Eric Estrada? Is that really a question from
Ooh.
Eric Estrada? Wants to know it's him.
I
That's
So,
so weird. Have any of you ever dreamt about any character that you played?
No. But I've
When I
dreamt
was-
about
Because it's-
people.
When
Yeah,
I was
think
in
because
college,
it's make believe. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Chris. Go ahead.
when I was in college, we were doing this play story theater. It's all these like sort of fairy tales, and in one of those stories, we were touring around the state of North Carolina doing this show as part of our senior project kind of thing. Which the year before that, they'd gotten to go to Moscow and do the Seagull, but whatever. We were touring around these little, mostly empty theaters and college gymnasiums in North Carolina doing story theater. And one of my characters in one of the many little stories that are told is a crow, and I just go caw caw caw, and my buddy Adam, who was rooming with me throughout the tour, said that one night he heard me going caw 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 in my sleep.
Oh, that's
Sorry.
amazing.
Yeah, I was in character. A crow.
You're method, right? You're just
That's how deep I
Daniel
go.
Day-Lewis. Yeah,
Yeah.
just
Maybe
into the soul.
Maybe Chris is our
Into the soul.
world's three-eyed raven.
Cool.
I don't know what that is. No one knows what that is.
Game of Thrones.
We all know what it is except for you,
You do all
Judy.
know what
it is.
I don't know what it is.
Sorry,
People
Greg.
watching this will know. For me, if things ever get stressful at work, when I have a dream, and like an anxiety dream, it's never about working on Archer. It's always 20 plus years ago when I was working at a chain restaurant that I won't name.
Me too. Yes. It's
And
always
I'm
been like,
quadruple sat,
yeah.
and nobody has their drink orders yet. Jeez.
This
I
show
think
is
we're
kind of
like-
so easy to make too. It's like not stressful. This show's not a stressful show to make, so like
Yeah.
it doesn't have any stress attached.
For
I
us,
often
Casey
have
is
dreams.
always stressed out.
Well, not for us. For Casey. Casey's on the verge of death at all times. For the rest of us, hey,
This is
Kate.
like the easiest thing to ever make.
It's so easy, guys. It just happens so
As
magically.
all the animators and wonderful animators and wonderful artists that work on the show, we know it is not easy to make, and it's very difficult. And they do an outstanding job,
Casey's
especially
such
now.
a good boss. He's such a
doing
good
it
boss.
from home.
We're like, come on, guys, how hard can it be? Like, draw some pictures. Casey's like,
Wait,
listen, lady.
I just keep thinking about how if I ever get to go back to a chain restaurant again, I want to say to my young waiter or waitress, you're going to dream about this. You know that, right? Like for years and years and years to come, this is the dream you're going to have.
Yeah.
But to echo what
Well-
Casey said, the animators on this show are better than any other show on television.
Hey,
It is the most
the
beautiful and complex show out there, and they do work very hard. And then we clowns come in for 45 minutes in our sweatpants
I
and
know.
like make fart noises into a microphone.
Like,
so thank you
ah.
very much for all the work you do. Yeah. Or,
Wait, how old is the Archer? How old is the Archer baby now?
The wee baby Seamus?
Seamus?
Seamus. No, because didn't like early on a couple meet at like doing Archer, and then they got
Yeah.
married, and then they had a baby.
Yeah, a few of them did, and I think one's about 9 or 10 years old at this point. So
That's
that's
nice.
pretty crazy to think about.
Yeah. Is that the one that was the model baby for Seamus?
I don't recall, but let's say
Yeah.
yes. I have a couple. Let me hit another couple other questions, guys.
Okay.
This one is from at Alex Pilot 272. If the Archer cast could star in a James Bond film, what would the title of that film be?
Keep it clean.
Phrasing.
Oh,
That's the name of a real movie, guys. I can't get in trouble for that. That's
I
a
know
movie that already came out. That's obviously the right answer to that question.
Octopus. Yeah.
yeah.
I was going to
Yeah.
come up with something better, but until I
Lucky,
do, I
lucky
stand
is
by my
just
original.
burning it. Is in his.
Yeah,
He's
it's
really
trying
the
to
gears
make
are
it
churning.
Like it would either be like Stinkfinger or Man with the Golden Rod
Or a liter of vodka is not enough.
A good day.
This
What
is
was
how
that,
you
Chris?
get ant.
A good day to sploosh.
Oh, that was fantastic.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow, that's great,
Yeah.
Chris. That was really good.
Let's take one more fan question.
Okay.
Quantum of. Okay, no, go. I had something. I just realized everything I want to say I can't say here. So
That would be if it was quantum of. Wait, I had something for this. This one is from Missile 2928. Which Archer catchphrase are you tired of having repeated back to you again and again and again?
I mean, Aisha, it's got to be Lana. People screaming
Gotta be.
Lana at you.
The Lana thing. It's just, I love everybody out there, and I appreciate you, and I appreciate you love the show, and I will always give you something resembling a half-hearted what. I will muster whatever energy I can to respond. But yeah, that is just, that gets, it doesn't get old. It just gets weathered and seasoned.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the one. And it's the shrieking. It's the coming up and shrieking it at you.
Strangers shrieking in your ear.
You're going to be delighted by that.
The first 400,000 or 500,000 times it happened, it was fun. But it's just getting sad. But I love the show. So, and people are so delighted by it. So, I mean, like I said, I'll squeeze out a what if I'm able to. I try to put my back into it. Yep. Yeah.
I think what's cool too is that somebody once said, like, how do you come up with catchphrases? But I feel like all of them developed organically, probably because the way that Adam Reed used to write the scripts, where he would write one, then we would record it, and then he'd go and write the next one, and he wrote everything. So anything that worked super well in the booth, he'd be like, that's got to come back. So I feel like Suppressing Fire and Jeezy Pete's and Smoke Bomb, those were all things that just organically happened.
And that still happens now. Like, we'll have something where you need a reaction, and you'll say, well, what about this thing you've said before? And then we'll try it, and then if it works, then it keeps coming back.
Yeah, like Smoke Bomb, I remember, was not in the script. I don't remember what was in the script, but we bounced a few things around, and Smoke Bomb was the one we all liked. Yeah, and then it became a thing. It was great. Same with Me Too. Like, Me Too was in there once, and then it just sort of started rolling around until the hashtag happened.
We also had ISIS first.
True that.
We own that. We trademarked that. That's ours, man. Terrorists ruin everything.
Stuck to our guns on that one.
Terrorists ruin absolutely everything.
Or the kids' animated show.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was
The one when we were kids. Lady with the gem in her hand.
Yeah, the Shazam ISIS Hour. And that's
It was an ISIS hour, man. I was ISIS for Halloween when I was like 7. I loved it.
that's awesome. And we've had
ISIS.
TV's Michael Gray on the show quite a bit, who was the young Billy Batson in the Shazam TV show.
And when you say
Whoa.
young, you really mean 23 years old.
But you guys, I think we have to wrap it up now. Is like anything else before we wrap it up?
I have a question for everybody.
Yeah.
Do you notice when you're on a thing like Zoom or BlueJeans that you don't know how you have no idea how many times you touch your face, but you just stare into the abyss of your own eyes for the entire time and count? I've just been like, oh, I've just been touching my face. I've given myself something on the surface of my house. Hopefully it's not COVID, but boy, have I been touching my face a lot. That's just that's a little moral story for the people out there. Wash your hands, don't touch your face.
Now you're making me
Even
want
though
to face.
can't say for the kids out there, wash your hands, don't touch your face.
And if we all do that, then next year we'll be all able to be
We can
together
all
again.
We'll all
go
be
back
back
to
together
Comic-Con.
again.
Yay!
Well, that brings our conversation to an end. But before we end, I want to share some big, exciting news with everybody.
What, Casey?
And it's something that you've heard first here at San Diego Comic-Con at home, that Archer's 11th season, that's true, and our 11th season is going to premiere Wednesday, September 16th at 10 p.m. on FXX, and then the next day on FX on Hulu, and we can't wait for all y'all to see it. So thanks again for tuning in, and from our family to yours, that we wish you the best, and we sincerely appreciate the continued support. And until next time, see you guys later, our San Diego Comic-Con family.